Om Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvabhignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varadhe Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhirbhavatu me sada Yenaksarasamamnayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagartha Viva Samprikto Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Namaste everyone, nice to see you. Hope everyone's doing well. So we are starting, so the warm-up we were talking about, write the information for Tushyanti. So Tushyanti and Tishtataha. I chose those because they look very similar, but they're different dhatus. So Tush, as some people wrote in the chat, is 4P, to be pleased. It's lat lakaraha, so present tense. Kartri prayoga, active voice. Pratama purusha, bahuvachanam. Translation is, they are pleased. No, sorry, they please, because it's active voice, they please. And tishtataha is sta dhatu, 1P, to stay. Lat lakaraha, kartari prayoga, pratama purusha, dvivachanam. You see the taha, tishtataha, right? Like bhavati, bhavataha, bhavanti. So that, and the translation of that is those two stay. Okay. So note in Tushyanti, even though there's a ya, that ya is not atmanepada, because we have parasmaipada ending, or sorry, it's not karmani prayoga, just because we have the yakara, because we have parasmaipada ending, not atmanepada ending for Tushyanti. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat about that. Okay, so last time we were talking about vibhakti. This is page 75, 76. We're going to talk about page 75 right now. Vibhakti and vibhaktyarthaha. So in your book one, vibhaktyarthaha. Vibhaktyarthaha. Okay, so as we were talking about before, right, within a noun, there's the pratipadikam and the supratyaya. Now, supratyaya, we have to look at vibhakti and then vachanam. Okay, so there's a case and then you have to know a number of them. So we have 7 cases here. Pratama vibhaktihi, dutiya vibhaktihi, tritiya vibhaktihi, chaturthi vibhaktihi, panchami vibhaktihi, shashti vibhaktihi, and saptami vibhaktihi. So these 7 are our vibhaktis, and what they tell me is how the noun is related to the verb. The relationship between the noun and the verb is told by a vibhakti. Right? Because there's only 2 types of words. There's stingantam and subantam, and so we have to look at the relationship. The reason that this is in Sanskrit, there's no word order, right? So the order of the words can be completely different, but the nouns have a vibhakti. And so the vibhakti tells me the relationship to the noun or to the verb. Because there's any order, I can say, Ramaha vanam gacchati. Rama gacchati goes vanam, to the forest. Or I can say, gacchati Ramaha vanam. And that, so if I put gacchati, goes Rama to the forest. So the order changed, but the meaning will stay the same because the vibhaktis tell me the relationship. I know that Rama is the doer of the action of going, so Rama goes. And I know that vanam, because of the ending, it tells me it's the object of going. So it's to the forest. So Rama goes to the forest, no matter what order I put it in. Okay. Now we're going to look at Prathama Vibhakti. So this is page 76 of your book of Vibhakti Arthaha. We're looking at the Arthaha. Arthaha means meaning. Arthaha of Vibhakti. So we're looking at the meaning of the different Vibhaktis. Here we're looking at the first case. Prathama Vibhakti. Okay, Prathama Vibhakti is like the main thing that we have to learn. This is really important because Prathama Vibhakti, we always want to look for our verb first, and after our verb, we always want to look for our first case. So this is always the order. We always want to look for the verb and then the first case. The first case is really important for us, usually. Okay. Now, remember that there's two types of vibhaktis. There's karaka and non-karaka. What I mean by that, I'll show you in a second. So here it says karaka vibhakti. So the first case employed to express the karta, the agent of a verb in kartari prayoga. Okay, there's a few things that are important here. First is we have to look at, we're talking about in kartari prayoga, active voice. So in active voice, the first case can be used to express the karta or agent. Okay. So let's look at what a karta is, just to remind us. Okay, this is not here on page 76. It's earlier in the book, but we've already talked about this, so we're going to go a little bit quicker. But what is a karta? Right? Because we said the first case can express a karta. The karta is the doer or the agent of an action. So the doer of action. So for example, he sees the elephant. With reference to the action of seeing, who is the doer? He is the karta. He is the doer. So he is the karta. They see the elephant. With reference to the action of seeing, they are the doers of seeing. Therefore, they are the karta. Devadatta follows, same thing, right? Devadatta is the karta. Okay. So going back. So this first case can be used to express the karta, the doer of action, the agent. In kartari prayoga. In kartari prayoga. We have to make sure we look at that. Okay. So example here, Devadattaha pashyati. So this verb, so it's drish dhatu, lat lakaraha, kartari prayoga, pratama purusha, ekavachanam. It means to see. Now, who is the doer of seeing? Devadatta. So Devadatta is the karta. Oftentimes, we can ask the question when we're looking at kartari pratama, we can ask the question is who? Who did the action? That will be told in the first case. Sometimes, right? Okay. So when the first case is used in the sense of the karta, it's called kartari prathama. So repeat after me. Kartari prathama. Kartari prathama. So prathama means first case. Kartari in the sense of karta. In sense of first case in the sense of karta. So you'll see me say this a few times. Kartari prathama. Okay. Thumbs up or thumbs down, thumbs at the side. How are we feeling? No thumbs. Okay, some thumbs. Okay. Okay, we're gonna, let's do an example before we go to this. Okay, so let's look at this. Ramaha gacchati. This is our sentence here. Ramaha gacchati. First thing we always want to do when we see a sentence. So now this is the first time we're doing a sentence. Now this is exciting because now we've learned a little bit about verbs, we're learning a little bit about nouns, and then now we can make sentences because a sentence is made up of verbs and nouns, right? So Ramaha gacchati. Okay, so our verb is gacchati, dhatu gam, to go, latlakaraha, kartari prayoga, prathama purusha, ekavachana. We'll do this a little bit slower in a bit, but I just want to show the example of kartari prathama. So we know something goes because we're in present or in active voice. Something goes. Now, when we're in active voice, the first case could be used to denote the karta, right? Okay, now let's look at the Subantam Padam, Ramaha. Pratipadikam, Rama. It's a ending, akaranta, punlingaha, a ending masculine. Supratyaya, prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam. And we'll learn this. We haven't learned this yet, but I want to point out vibhakti arthaha, kartari prathama. It's a first case in the sense of karta to gacchati, meaning that who goes? Rama goes. So the translation is Rama goes. Because here the first case is used in the sense of karta. Let's look at another meaning that. So first case can also be used to express the karma. So prathama vibhakti can also be used to express the karma. Okay, in here, let's pull this up. Sorry, one. Okay, so first case can be used to express the karma, object of action. So in your book, it looks a little bit different. So what it should say here is karma when we are in karmani prayoga. So this is what it should say here. I'm missing that slide. So first case can be used to express the karma, object of action in karmani prayoga, okay? So this is really important. Only in karmani prayoga will the first case be used to express the karma. Okay, now what is a karma? Again, right, with reference to a given action, the object of the verb gets a technical name karma. So examples are, he sees the elephant, right? with reference to the action of seeing, who does it? He does it. So he sees, he is the karta. And he sees what? So we can often use the question, what? He sees what? He sees the elephant. So elephants are karma. Elephants are seen by him. With reference to action of seeing, elephants are seen, or sorry, he sees, so he is the karta, and the elephants are karma. They're the object of his seeing. So the example in the book, if you look, I don't have the slide, but on page 76, in the middle it says, Gajaha drishyante. Gajaha drishyante. So drishyante, that is, we know that's drish dhatu, lat lakaraha, karmani prayoga, pratama purusha bahuvachanam. Okay, so the main point is it's karmani prayoga. And when the verb is in karmani prayoga, the first case will be what we call karmani pratama. First case in the sense of karma, object. So not the doer, it's the object of action. Okay, so in karmani prayoga, the first case is karma. So here it says drishyante means are seen. What are seen? Gajaha. Gajaha, the elephants are seen. So there we don't have a karta. We don't have a doer of action there. Okay, 1 second. Let me find my Rama Shabda. Okay, let's look at Rama Shabda. Okay, so, and then we'll come back to this. So on page 89, page 89, page 89, you'll see Rama Shabda. This is the first noun we always see in Sanskritam class. I'm not really sure why, but I assume that it's auspicious to start with Lord Rama. But it's also because this, if we learn this ending masculine word, you gain almost like a huge percentage of the language. So we're working smart, not hard. Right? We're working smart because if we learn this one shabda, you gain a lot, right? You're able to translate a lot of sentences, or you're able to translate a lot of vibhaktis and look at the different ending masculines, which are a large percentage. Okay, so Rama, here we need to point out, so the word we're looking at is Rama, okay? But Rama is a pratipadikam because remember a noun, subantam, is made up of pratipadikam plus supratyaya. So now we're looking at a pratipadikam called Rama. When we're looking at pratipadikam, we need to look at two things. What is it ending with and what is its gender? Here it says, right at the top, it says akaranta Pullinga Shabdaha. Akaranta means a ending. Pullinga, masculine. Shabda means word. So word, a ending word in masculine is the first one we're starting with. So Rama Shabda. Now, all we need to look at right now is this first line because we're looking at Prathama Vibhaktihi. Okay, and by the end of this class, we're going to memorize this first case, Pratama Vibhakti for Rama Shabda. Okay, so repeat after me. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. One more time. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. Okay. Oh, let me close this. Okay. Now, Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. So, what we are doing to go from the Pratipadika Rama, the first case, Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam. So we would write it like this, 1, 1. Prathama Vibhakti, first case. We put the Vibhakti and then we put the number. So Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam, 1, 1. So what we do is we take Rama, or whatever it is, and we add what we call a Visargaha. These 2 dots. And the Visarga, that sound, just mirrors the vowel before it. So Ramaha. So for example, what I mean by mirrors the vowel, so if we say E and then we say Visarga, it becomes Ihi. Or U and then Visarga, Uhu. But here it's A, so Aha. Okay, so Ramaha. Prathama Vibhaktihi, Dvivachanam, first case dual. We take the Pratipadika and we so here, let me do this. So this word Rama is really, if we spell it in transliteration, it looks like this. R-A-M-A, Rama. Now this akara is replaced by O. This akara is replaced by O, so then it becomes Ramo. And then the Prathama Vibhakti Bahuvachanam, we have Rama. What we do is we elongate the akara, so it becomes Rama, and then we add a, so step 1, and then step 2, we add a Visarga. So it becomes Ramaha. Okay, so if you have your workbook, you can open your workbook to page 63. Workbook page 63. And here you can see Deva. So Deva is another ending masculine shabda. Can you tell me in the chat what is 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 3 for Deva? Following the same steps as Rama. So follows the same format. So can you tell me what is 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3 for Deva? Yep, looking good. So 1, 1. We just add a visarga. So Deva. Keep typing if you haven't sent it. So we're adding a visarga to Deva. So Devaha. Dvivachanam, we replace this last akara with O. So Devo. Sorry, I didn't write that properly. Devo. And then this one, we elongate the last akara and we add a visarga. Devaha. So it looks good. All right. Last thing I want to do with this is I want us to look at some sentences. So let me find where we're at. Is if you go to the last, no, if you go to the end of the book, the exercise, I believe number 7, so we'll find it. Exercise number 8. First case in Kartari Prayoga. Can you tell me in the chat, when the first case, when we're in active voice, what is the first case expressing? Or what would we call that first, the meaning, the vibhakti artha of the first case? I hope that question makes sense. What is the vibhakti artha of the first case when we're in Kartari Prayoga? Yep. Prathama. No. Kartari Prathama. Kartari Prathama. Okay, so this first sentence. Purusho namataha. So how you want to do it is you want to look at the example at the top of that page in your book. Here I'm doing the next sentence, but it follows the same format. There's only 2, remember, this is why we went through this repetition so many times. Only 2 types of words, verb and noun. We always want to start with the verb. So we write Tingantam Padam first. Within a Tingantam Padam, there's Dhatuhu and Ting Pratyaya. So this is our shell. And then we have Subantam Padam. Within Subantam Padam, we have Pratipadikam and Supratyaya. Now we added Vibhakti Artha. Okay, so this is, we shouldn't need to look at the exercise because we can figure out this shell by ourselves. Right? Tigantam Padam is made up of those 2 parts. Subantam Padam is made up of these 2 parts. Dhatuhu for namataha. Nam dhatu. I believe it's 1p. To bow or to prostrate or to salute. Let's say to salute. My ting pratyaya, I know it's lat lakaraha, present tense. This is, I don't see any yakara or I don't see any atmanepada type ending, so I know it's kartari prayoga. And we know taha, so bhavati, bhavataha, bhavanti. Right? So bhavataha. So same, namataha. So this is prathama purusha. Bahuvachanam. Or sorry, dvivachanam. Sorry. Lack of alertness. Dvivachanam. Now the Subantam Padam, we see it's Purusho. Pratipadika, we just take off that ending and we get the Pratipadika. Purusha. Ending. Punlinga. So I can write Akaranta Pullinga. I don't know why I wrote ending, but either way. Supratyaya. So what is the case? We know it's Prathama Vibhaktihi. And there's the verb is dual. This is also dual. So they match with each other. Purusho. So it's dvivachanam. Vibhaktyartaha. This is kartari prathama. So it's first case in the sense of karta. It's the doer of action. Now you always have to write to which verb? To namataha. It is the karta to this specific verb, nam dhatu. To this nam, namataha. So translation is two people salute or prostrate. How do we know it's kartari prathama? Because we're in kartari prayoga. Okay. So I have a question for you. Do you feel comfortable with this exercise, with exercise number 8? If you do not feel comfortable, you can tell me in a chat. We'll do more examples. If you do feel comfortable, you can let me know as well. You feel comfortable. So where is this? This is page 169 in the back of the book. Page 169 of book 1. 169. Okay, so what you have to do is follow the same format and break down each part. We'll do more practice next time. If you're not comfortable, please let me know, and we can do more examples next time. I'm going a little faster than we did last time because I know some people have already gotten this, so that's why. Yeah, so you'll do all of them. Do all of them if you can. If you don't have that much time, then do all the odd numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So do all the odd numbers. So you don't have to do all of them then. because the important part is to do it. If you only have time to do some, then do some of them. But if you have time to do all of them, then do all of them. We had in our course, we had to do, she would make us do all in our free time. Instead of sleeping, we would do our Sanskritam. Okay, we'll end here. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So we'll come back in 5 minutes, so at 8:10, and we'll start our Sadhana Panchakam class. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be here just with my camera off. Namaste, Har Prasad ji. Go ahead.
Namaste, Mahodaya. I have a question about the last sadhana panchakam of the last class. Can I ask you now so you can answer that question?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. In the last class, you said 3 things: Satyam, Mityam, and Tucham. You explained how Mityam becomes at the end Brahman. But what happens to Satyam?
Okay, I'll elaborate on Satyam and Mithya in that.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.